All right, looks like we're live. Okay. Give it a few minutes and see. All right, when on 5:13 Eastern Standard Time. Give it a few minutes and see who gets the notification, who logs in. Welcome to Virtual History 360. I'm Mr. Wade, and got a couple of things I want to talk about. Hey, Logan, glad you got the notification. How do I sound? I'm hoping you can hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, give about 20 more seconds, then I'm going to start talking, see how you guys are doing. As you saw in the title, got civics questions if you have anything you want to ask me. I'm also going to talk a little bit about Civil War sites. So if there's anything that you're interested in about the Civil War, just because that's a passion of mine, or civics because that's what we're learning about in school, type in a question. Let's see what we got. Let's see if any other people decide to join us at 5:14 in the afternoon on a Friday. So we got 2 people, 1 person. Okay. Well, Logan, looks like it's just you and me. Hopefully it's just you. Otherwise, I don't know who it is. All right, but anyway, I'm testing out this live format. If you recognize the classroom, you can see where I'm at here. And what I would like to do is make this kind of a recurring thing where I go live. And in the afternoons, if you're interested, you can ask me questions, see what's going on. Hopefully I bring up some interesting topics that you might be interested in, stuff that we can talk about, whether it be Civil War, just current events, whatever's going on. You ask me, we'll talk about it. I don't want to say podcast style, but if there's something you want to talk about, that's what we can use this forum for. Let's see, it's been about 2 minutes. All right. So let's begin. Virtual History 360 covers a lot of things. 360 because my 360 videos, obviously, that's where the name came from. But really, I think it encompasses everything that we do. So what I'll talk about today is specifically the Civil War sites that I've been to. I've been to a pretty good number, but I wouldn't say I've been to nearly all of them. Probably my favorite would be the Battle of Shiloh. That battlefield, I feel, is the best preserved, and it has by far the most markers. You can literally track each regiment for the 2 days. Every hour, you can see where they were. And the reason I bring this up, and I can go into greater detail in my experience later, but the reason I bring this up is because I have this book here. I don't know if it's backwards for you or not, if you can see it. It's The Civil War 100, written by Michael Lee Lanning. Now, I've tried to get a hold of him. He has not emailed me back. I'm going to give him full credit for writing this book. But what he did was he came up with his personal list of what were the most influential Civil War battles, locations, people. Okay. And I think this would be a good just topic and go over maybe 1 or 2 a week and try and get through as many as we can. Okay. I'll tell you the first one, which I'm not going to too great detail because I'm hoping to visit one day, let me rephrase this. The first one being the first one I'm going to talk about. If you look at 1 through 100, we're going to do this as a countdown. I think that's a little better because what's most important, we'll save for the last, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to start at 100 and work our way backwards. If I've been there, I'll talk about my personal experience, but if I haven't been there, I'm going to add it to my list of places to visit. All right. So we got 3 people in. Hopefully, we got people enjoying this. Hopefully, there's something that's interesting that you can take away from this. Again, go ahead and leave me a comment so I can see that you're there. If you have questions, type them in. I'll respond as best I can. All right. And as I said, we're going to talk about the Civil War 100. Number 100 is Palmito Ranch. Palmito Ranch in Texas, just outside of Brownsville. What makes Palmito Ranch such a big deal, and why is it included, but yet only number 100? Because it was the last official battle of the Civil War. Now, the last battle doesn't necessarily mean it happened before the war ended, though. Now, my name is Bill. You have to help me out because I don't know usernames. If you're a student of mine, tell me your name so I can figure out who you are. Think back to when you studied American history and the War of 1812. Andrew Jackson, Colonel Jackson at the time, made such a big deal because he won the Battle of New Orleans, right? But that happened a month after the treaty was signed. A lot of times treaties would be signed or the wars would, be ground to a halt, but yet not everybody knew. So that's one example. The Civil War is another example. Robert E. Lee surrendered the Army of Northern Virginia on April 14th, 1865. That was in Virginia, though. Now we're talking about Texas. This is a long way away. You couldn't just hop in your car and drive or hop on a plane, right? It was train ride or walking. Now, Palmito Ranch took place over May 12th. Oh, hey, TJ, how you doing, bud? All right. Good to see you on there. How's track going for you? All right, I'll keep talking while you answer. Palmito Ranch, May 12th and 13th. And here's the kicker. It was actually a Confederate victory. Now, if that's not ironic, I'm not really sure what is the fact that there'd be a Confederate victory, after the Union wins the war. And there's plenty of other things to talk about. It was, people, the armies have moved west out of Brownsville, and they just kind of ran into each other. There was a skirmish, more Union casualties than Confederate casualties, and the Union was pushed back. But nevertheless, the war was over, and that is it. Okay. So talking about Palmito Ranch, that's number 100. Again, looking at this book of Civil War 100. And like I said, it's a really good book. I enjoyed reading it, going through it all. The Civil War, I would argue, is probably my favorite era of history for a couple of reasons. One, it's a big deal in American history. It still reverberates to today, and we can add that discussion as we go forward of how it still affects us today and still in the news even. But it's also recent. I mean, you might not think of 150 years as recent, but 150 years is in historical timeline is not very much, and there's a lot still out there. There are a lot of places you can go that are well preserved. Palmito Ranch, if you go out there, it's a highway. Just if you drive either from San Antonio or Brownsville and you meet in the middle there, they have a marker. That's it. And it's an open field, but that's what the area was. Okay. So you can actually go see stuff like that. And I think that's really cool. And you can put yourself in the places where stuff happened, where history happened. And I'd mentioned Shiloh being preserved. Civil War, there's a lot of areas preserved, and I think that's really cool. And not only the locations, but the memories are preserved. If you look at today, a lot of correspondence is censored. Military personnel are not allowed to share a lot of information. In the Civil War, no censorship. These soldiers would write letters to their family and give away details of all kinds of stuff and locations and what their plans were and where they were going and how they were feeling and what happened to them and what day-to-day life was like. You can go and find books and websites that list so many just primary source accounts of soldiers from the Civil War. And I think that's a really important memory to have because that is what keeps history alive. It's not the battles. It's not the locations, although important. It's the people. And by having those memories of those people, they're kept alive. There's a great quote that, person dies twice. Once when they physically die, and the second time is when their name is spoken for the last time. And, that's kind of a big deal to keep those up. Jojo M, hi. Again, if I don't know your screen name, you're going to have to help me out with the name. If you're a student of mine, let me know who you are. I'll give you a shout out here. But, history is all around us. Like I've said that in all my videos because you can always find history. You can always find something. History by definition is the written record, and you can always find something. You can find the locations, and so much stuff has happened. Hey, what's up, Josiah? How you doing, bud? I got you. It's all good. Autocorrect, right? Sorry, that was funny. That's a good nickname for him. We'll call you Josiah Money for the rest of the year. But what's really cool about finding history is you can go big scale, like the Civil War that I'm talking about. But I'm going to put a challenge out there to you guys. Go talk for another minute or so. Actually, before I sign off, I'm going to ask if you have any civics questions. If you're a student of mine or you're coming up on the EOC, put them in there. I'll see if I can answer them for you. And if I can't answer them, I'll find them and answer them next time I'm on here. Okay. Yeah. If you have a civics questions, go ahead and type that out just so I can see what you got. Hey, my phone's ringing. It's probably my wife. It's going to ring while I'm on live. Yeah, that's what happens when you do live. Things will go crazy, right? All right. So I'm going to wrap this up in a little bit, but let me ask you this. I'm challenged to you. Can you think of a place in the area you live where you could possibly find history? Might not be what you're thinking of. I'll give you a hint. The easiest way to start is start looking for those historical markers. You find those historical markers, you might find something interesting. You can dig a little deeper. Don't be afraid to do a little research. All right? All right, so I'm about at the 10-minute mark, so I'm going to close out here just because I didn't want to get on here too long. Let's see, it's been a while. I remember 3-4 years ago. I remember Civics. Vin, you got to help me out, 7887. Do I know you? You're my student or no? Probably not if you remember civics class. Maybe you went to one of my schools. I don't know. If you have anything going on. Oh, hey. Hey, Vinny. Good to hear from you. I'm glad you're on here. Glad you're a subscriber. That means you got the notification, right? All right. So I'm sure there's something in downtown Kissimmee. You know what? If you ever go to downtown Kissimmee, check out the Monument of the States. You know, people think it's kind of cheesy, but it's actually really cool because it has a piece of whatever it is from all 50 states. I think that's pretty cool. But you know what's actually really neat? If you go to downtown Kissimmee, there's a lot. And I'll tell you, if you want information, go to Pioneer Village. I know it's separate from downtown Kissimmee, but the railroad station right there, the Amtrak station, they have so much history right in there. Go to this train station, just see what you can find. I don't know what's still there. It's been a while since I've been there, but you know, they used to, ship cattle from the area, and this whole area was built on, citrus and cattle. You ever wonder why we have rodeo day off? Because we were big in the cattle industry. You head out east on 192 and turn right down. What is the name of that road? I can't think of the name of the road, but down by Yeehaw Junction, you head down that way. It's all still open range, and that's how Florida cattle was. Oh my goodness, that's a whole other conversation talking about Florida crackers and Florida cattle. Scrub brush, the brush cattle there. All right. So you guys got me talking on my soapbox here. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm challenging you. I want you to find some history, and then when I come back next week, I want you to talk to me about what you found. Okay. This video is gonna be up on YouTube in a second. Once it uploads. If you find something, leave me a comment. And if you have questions, leave more comments. I'll look into it. We'll talk about it next week. All right. I'm Mr. Wade. This is Virtual History 360. Share this out. Get the word out there. Get more people involved. Okay. Okay. Say it again. Say it again. What? Say what again? The challenge? Try and find something historical. Okay. Try and find a historical marker. Find it. Stop by it. Read it. Okay. Those little plaques are bigger in your head. They'll say, on this date, such and such happened. Okay? That's the easy way. Cool? All right. So for Virtual History 360, I'm Mr. Wade. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Logging off. Hey, the cars at Old Town, I like them too. I used to go there. All right. We'll talk about that.